Boom boom. Mike's music method. Come on in. We're in dark mode today. Mike's music method dark mode. Guys, we are continuing with the How to Get Better at Guitar series. We're doing the triads on the last string set here, and it's going to be great. You're finishing up the whole guitar neck with your triads. We're also going to learn Cold Cold Heart by Hank Williams. And after this, once you feel good about this, in the near future, I'm working on a whole bunch of different tunes using these triad shapes. Not only that, you're going to get super comfortable with these triad shapes, but we're also going to start to incorporate melody. So you're going to be your own little awesome solo guitarist where you can play the chords, but also hit the little melody right on top of it. It's going to get sweet. You're going to like it. But in the meantime, we have to finish this off. We're doing triads on the 4th string set. It's a nice, low, really rich sound. And let's get right to it. Before we get right to it, make sure you've watched all the videos in this playlist so far. This will be fine standalone video. It'll work. But the real value is going to come from watching this whole series sequentially. You're going to get an awesome understanding of the guitar neck. And that's the whole point of this How to Get Better at Guitar playlist, is to take you from not really knowing what's going on, having no map, to just getting the whole thing. It does take a little work. There's no secret trick where boop, it just gets, matrixed into your brain and you download it and you suddenly know it. It's going to take some time, but that's fine. The whole point of this series is to walk you through it, baby steps, and within a couple months, you're going to be able to find every chord on the guitar neck like a master. But let's do it. So let's do it. Let's find all the G chords first. First one is obvious. G chord here. We have G, B, D, the root, the major 3rd, the perfect 5th. I'll make some videos in the future about scales, because once you learn some scale positions, then that helps you understand where all these intervals are. But that's a whole nother lesson. Here we got that G chord. Then when I move that up, you might think it's to go to this bar chord, and that's fine, that is a G chord. But we don't actually have a 3rd here. We got root, 5th, and octave. So it's just G, D, G. There is no 3rd, there's no B. So we have to move it up to here. Here's my B, 7th fret, and then I'm barring 5, 5. That's actually my G chord there. So I got the first one, 3, 2, 0, 7, 5, 5. Then from there, and another way to think about this one that's kind of interesting is like, if you play your G chord up here on 7, 8, 7, like as a D shape, right? When you move that up here, then you throw that over the top. Now it's a G with a B in the bass, just feel like this is a D with an F sharp in the bass. It's funny to think about this as a movable chord, but it is. And if we did a D chord, you could play it like this, right? You'd have open, open, 2, open, open. So I'm just doing that D chord, 2, open, open, 3, 1, 1, right? Moving it up. So that's where that shape comes from. 7, 5, 5 is a G chord with a B in the bass. Then our final one is here. And that's 10 with my ring finger, 10 underneath it, and then 9. It's a G chord with the D in the bass. And I think of this as coming from that C shape, right? If I have that C major chord, and I move that all the way up to the 10th fret, I get a G. But if I have that C and I put that in the bass, right, we've seen that a lot, the big C. Or just doing that like C with the G in the bass. Now when we do it up here, we have the G with the D in the bass. So get really comfortable with that. Spend some time getting used to the distance. And you can also always envision where the root is. There's my root. Now that G ends up over there, right? If you think of your octaves, G's on top. And now my G is on the 10th fret in the middle. So a bunch of different ways to think about these triads. Let's try to find the C major chords now. C has 3 notes, C, E, G. If you think of your C chord here, you might go, oh, I already know one. And you do, it's just this. Right, it's like a C chord, but we're gonna put that G in the bass. So I got G, C, E. Just those 3 notes are a nice low C chord. C with the G in the bass. Then you might think, okay, well, I know a C chord here. not quite it. You're getting there though. Think about it for a second. We have the G in the bass. Now we need to have, because this, if we do it here on these three strings, again, it's just G, C, G, right? There's no third, so that doesn't work. Yeah, you might be onto it. Yeah, it's the G shape. I got C is the 8th fret with my pinky. 8, 7, 5. And again, if I had the capo on the 5th fret, I would just play the G shape here, but you kind of got to awkwardly. I never play it like that. You could do all of them. It's a big old G chord where my first finger is the capo. But that's it. It's just C in root position. C, E, G, 8, 7, 5. And here was that low one again. 3, 3, 2. G in the bass, root position. Now again, you might think you can go there, and it's fine, but it's not actually the full triad because, again, it's just C, G, C. We have no E. So the next one, it's kind of hard for me to reach on this guitar. There we go. I can't see my dots. It's too dark. We got 12, 10, 10. 12, 10, 10. So I have E, G, C. 12, 10, 10. 8, 7, 5. 3, 3, 2. And we have all our C's. Let's spend a moment and find all of the D chords. Where do you think we should start? Yeah, we got a D here that's open, so I can think through it backwards. D, A, F sharp. Got a D chord with an F sharp in the bass. 2, open, open. Then I go up, I have a D here, 5th fret of that string. I might think through it. D, F sharp, A. There we go. So it's 5, 5, 4. A, D, F sharp. Where's the last one? We had a root on the 5th fret there was D. So if I go to the low E and do the 10th fret, there's a D. And that one is in root position. I just walk it down. 10, 9, 7. So 10, 9, 7. 5, 5, 4. 2, 0, 0. Pause the video. Get comfortable with those. I know it seems like a lot, but with time, it's just 3 different shapes that you're memorizing up the neck. And I probably mentioned this in a previous triad string set once, but you really should be memorizing your triads. I would start in the key of C, and I have a whole Music Theory 101 video that goes through this. But memorize your chords in the key of C. C major, C, E, G. D minor is D, F, A. E minor is E, G, B. It's only 7 things to memorize. You can make some flashcards. I promise you can memorize this in a week's time. And then from there, all the other triads are pretty easy to get when you have that as a foundation. Let's do one more. Let's do A major. You might think that one, but that doesn't work. It's E, A, and then it's E again. So we got an A here on the 5th fret, and we can go down like that. A, C sharp, E, right? The G shape. It's the same as this. 3, 2, 0. Move that up. 4, 3, 1. Da, da, da. So 5, 4, 2 is A major in root position. Then again, we can't do the bar chord, that doesn't work. But I use those 2 notes in the bar chord, right on 7 and 7, and I bar them. And then I put the C sharp in the bass, so it's 9, 7, 7. So again, anytime you have that bar chord that you know, instead of using these 2, I'm barring those 2, and then putting that root in the bass, or the 3rd in the bass, sorry. So C sharp, E, A. 9, 7, 7, 5, 4, 2, 9, 7, 7, 5, 4, 2, whoop, 5, 4, 2, 9, 7, 7. And then where is the next one? This is going to be hard. I got 12, 12, 11. Sorry, I need to put new strings on this thing. The intonation is awful. I know I'm in tune over here, but when I get up here, the D string's off. But it's 12, 12, 11, and that's the E, the A, and the C sharp. 9, 7, 7, 5, 4, 2. You got it. This video is a shorter one, so a short donation pitch. Mike's Music Method relies on the value for value model. If you guys are getting value from this video, give some back. That's the only way I can keep making more videos if you guys out there buy me time. So is this video worth $5 to you, $10? Maybe it's $20 a month because you're consuming a lot of MMN content. I don't know. It's up to you. It's the value for value model. To all my patrons who are out there already supporting, thank you so much. To those who aren't supporting, think about it. What if I disappeared from the internet? Maybe you'd go, oh, darn, I wish Mike would have kept doing those. I could have gave him $5 a month. Think of it that way. That's it. End donation pitch. Onward with the video. So at mikesmusicmethod.com, there will be a free tab to download, and I'll also include the chord chart. Remember, guys, whatever works better for you. Some people like that visual representation of it as the chord chart. Other people just like to see the tab. Whatever works for you. But even more important than that is do it yourself, right? Pick a new chord. Now sit down, whether you're doing tab or a chord chart, and plot all of these things out. Get your pencil and paper. Do it. This is the best way to learn and really think through, okay, there's the root. Now the root is here in this one. There's the fifth. And eventually you're just going to have like a visual mapping in your mind of how one moves to the other. Again, you're only playing with 3 puzzle pieces. So it may seem difficult now, but I promise with a little bit of time and effort, you're going to understand how one puzzle piece always follows the other one, and you'll be able to tie together all of these triads. Hank Williams, Cold Cold Heart. Let's do it. There are only 3 chords, D, A, and G. So make sure you can move through all of those fairly well. Pause the video, go do that. But now that you're ready, let's play through it. I just gave you one way that you might play through these changes, but there are endless ways and varieties. This isn't even necessarily a great way. I just try to include a lot of the different shapes, so it's more like a practice piece than something I would practically give you, but it still sounds cool too. So we're going to start the D up on the 10th fret, because that's our root D. We're going to do that way, 10, 9, 7. And he would just sing it here. I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. And there I'm going to the A. And what's cool about this voice leading is you have 10, 9, 7. Then the 10 becomes a 9. One note, and this is one of the reasons these triads are so beautiful, is he has really nice voice leading. So there I'm doing 9, 9, 7. So that whole part again. I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Then I move it, even though it's still an A chord, I'm going to move it just to give it some variety, which is another awesome thing about these triads. And here I'm going to go to root position, 5, 4, 2. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. There, when I go back to the D, I'm doing this in version 5, 5, 4. Again, just to give it variety. I already have that A in the bass. Why not keep that A in the bass when I go back to the D chord? Scheme. And then I'll move it just to keep you on your toes, and we'll jump back up to the original one. 10, 9, 7, sorry. I have no dots on this guitar. There's actually no dots, so I had to like paint them in. And it's gray. I need to make like a brighter color. So you can't see the dots, neither can I. All right, we're in this together. So we go back up to 10, 9, 7. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. And here I'm doing the G, 10, 10, 9. Again, because I already have the 10 in the bass, so I'm going to keep that common tone. Apart. And then we'll go back to the 9, 7, 7 for the A. Why can't I free you? Then we'll move it, 5, 4, 2. Doubtful mind. Then move it one more time, 12, 12, 9. Or 12, 12, 11. And melt your cold, cold. So let's try all those A's. We got 9, 7, 7. To root position, 5, 4, 2. All the way up to 12, 12, 11. And then we'll end on the D with pinky on the 10th fret. 10, 9, 7, 7, 7, like a big old G chord. Real pretty. So this is a great little study piece. Let's play it all together from the top here. 2, 3, 4. I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every favorite dream, A with a C sharp, then move it. I'm afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. The memory that your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. What can I be? Your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart. There you go. Now there's no reason you couldn't arpeggiate these. Sorry, my intonation is horrible. I promise I keep tuning it in between these takes. I need to get new strings. But you get the idea. You can finger pick through it in different ways. But that's it. I just wanted you guys to understand how to play these triads. I'm going to make many more videos in the future, not only how to play the triads, because we've done all that now, but the only way to get really good at them is start doing more and more songs. But the next step of this process is awesome, because we're actually going to start using melody as well. So for example, if I'm just playing like a G to a C, we're also going to learn how to add melody. And that's where the triads really start getting beautiful and awesome, because you can now have the melody to songs within these little triad shapes. And you can be a good guitarist. That's it. MikesMusicMethod.com. Until next time, peace.